Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a early look year-end roundup for Factorio. This has been a very long time since I've covered this game. I covered it back in June 2013. That's quite a while ago for, the whole video gaming thing. So many games have been created, so many games I've covered. It's just insane. This kind of went by the wayside. I really enjoyed playing it the time that I did play it, and then I kind of got distracted and actually forgot about it. I'm very sorry to the Factorio team and Factorio game itself. Wow. And I recently started fiddling around with it again. It has had so many updates. It was actually so old when I updated it that it didn't even acknowledge that there was a new update. I had to go and manually download the update. That's how old my version was. Currently, we are on version 11.6, I believe. Oh no, 11.5. 11.5. There have been a lot of updates. Normally, I go through what updates have occurred, and honestly, in this one, I can't. Because almost everything has changed. I believe the graphics subsystem has changed, or like not the graphics subsystem, the graphics themselves, like the textures have changed twice since I last covered it. So many things. There's so many more tech trees. I'm just kind of going through the options. You can kind of see rebindable keys, lots of keyboard controls, lots of everything. There's an other menu, tooltip delay. Like they've got all of the things, But let's go. There's a map editor, which I have not played around with because that's, that whole creative thing. I built cubes. That's pretty much how I do. But if we go into the play menu, you've got a campaign, which I haven't tried in a while. I don't know how well that's come. I didn't really care for it myself. I preferred the kind of sandboxy type deal. There's custom scenarios. There's multiplayer now. Now, in this version, the 11 build is where multiplayer came out, and it is buggy. I have not tried it. I don't have anybody to play multiplayer with, but from what I have read from the developers themselves, it is buggy as hell. It has desync issues. It's still very much a work in progress. So it is kind of use at own risk. But you can actually load a game in multiplayer. I don't know why I did that. So if you go to multiplayer, you can create a new game. You can connect to a game, it's peer-to-peer. There's no dedicated servers for it. So if I started up a game and provided my IP, people could connect to me. And you just do it through IP and port. You can, if you're going to host a game, you can start up a new game or you can load a game. So this is my game. I'm not actually going to start it as a server world because I don't have anybody to connect to. So we're going to go and we're going to just load up my world, my new Mark II. I've deleted all of my previous saves, except for this one apparently. This one I think is an older one. Yeah, the map version 0.9.8. Like, look at that. That is pretty old. As opposed to 0.1.15. And I've played it for almost 9 hours. That's pretty good, actually. So, let's load in here and see what we've got. This is kind of my factory. I've got iron coming from up there. Let's zoom back in and we'll wander around. Currently waiting for some tech to go. I've got all of this stuff prepared for my next tier of auto crafting. So I just got everything, just kind of waiting. Like I've got nothing there. I can't do anything with any of this stuff right now because I don't have all the tech required for it. But let's take a quick tour of what we've got. So I've got these conveyor belts. These conveyor belts bring items. That's pretty much it. And then I've got these big electrical poles, which are big electrical poles. Let's zoom in here and see. These allow for much longer wire between the big ones. If you're doing big to big, you've got Oh, I can't remember what the distance is. But if you're doing big to small, it's just the small. It goes with whatever the lowest is. So in this case, this is as far as you can go. I think it's like 5 or 6 tiles. Oh no, this is, I don't know. I'm just gonna stop guessing. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, because it can't, it's full. Oh dear. So I have a lot of iron going. I've got these 3 electrical drills that are mining this, just this tiny little patch of iron. I've got my 3 electric smelters smelting it up and bringing it down to my factory. And that's kind of the whole purpose of Factorio, is to build a factory. So what we've got here is, let's kind of go through the different things. Oh, good. That's finally done. Let's get this battery going. This is what I'm waiting for. We'll go and do those in a bit. So you kind of start off with nothing. And we'll go to my little junk chest here. You generally will start off with a stone furnace and this burner, the burner mining drill. I'm still using that just for stone because, let's just be honest, I don't need a whole lot of stone. And any stone that I do need, it needs to become this stone, the hell is it called? Stone brick, for more advanced stuff. That's pretty much where I'm at now. These are your labs. These labs, they need electricity. So you need to build these steam engines. Steam engines, you need an offshore pump, boilers, pipes, all the fun stuff to bring hot water to the steam engines. So essentially you're producing steam to produce electricity. And what I've got is I've got these electric inserters pulling the coal, putting it into the boiler to put into the steam engine. And the steam engine produces electricity. I have now upgraded to these solar panels, which is, I guess, the next level. And to do that, you need to use this, what is this, the research tree, the tech tree. So what we've got here is all these green ones are ones that I've already researched. All the red ones are ones that I have yet to research and can't. So they're locked by something. So this requires automation 2, electronics, which I have, but also requires modules, which I don't have, which are these yellow ones. The yellow ones here are ones that I can research, but I have yet to research. And they all have certain requirements. Wrong key. So if we click on the rail signals, I can research it. It takes 30 seconds of time for every 2 science pack and 1 science pack 2. That for every 2 science pack 1s and 1 science pack 2. And it needs to do that 150 times. So it requires a lot. And that's really all this setup is. This whole, everything from this assembler over all of this is all just to create the Science Pack 2s, which are here. This is the Science Pack 2s and Science Pack 1s. It requires a lot of different things. And each one of these little machines, these assembly machines, can only make one component. So, for example, this one is taking iron plates and iron gears and producing transport belts, because a transport belt is crafted using iron plates and iron gears. And it's getting the iron gears from this, which is taking the iron plates and turning it into iron gears. It's pretty simple, but it's a little bit hard to wrap your brain around that when you're used to coming here and, okay, so I want, say, what should I make? What do I need? Yeah, let's do a solar panel. We can always use another solar panel. So a solar panel, as you can see, takes 5 copper plates, 5 steel plates, and 15 electronic circuits. An electronic circuit requires an iron plate and 3 copper cable. A copper cable requires 1 copper. So with this, I would need to have one producing the copper cable, And then from that, I would need it to produce the electronic circuit. That would be a second one to do the electronic circuit. And then I would need something to produce the steel plate, which is what the electric furnace that's up. If you can see my cursor, it's there. It's the one that's highlighted. That produces the steel plates, which look more like steel girders. And then I need copper plates to be put in. So I would need 4, I think. Yeah, I think 4 of these assembly machines in order to produce one solar panel. But when I'm crafting it myself, I just go in and I click on it, and it queues everything up. And see, it's creating down in the lower left, it's creating our circuits, and now it's creating the solar panel. And we can continue working on as it does that. So this is great, but when you need to create massive amounts of things, like, for example, you need to create a whole bunch of these. These don't take too long. They take 5 seconds per. But it takes 5.5 if you just have the raw, because the iron plates take 0.5. So everything is increased. And then these guys are just brutal because they require so much more. So that's where you set up the factories, and you need a constant supply of it. And right now, I'm actually running really low, and I think it's because of power issues, to be honest, more than anything. When it becomes night, I actually don't have enough power to provide everything, because it's just running off of these 2 steam, which do not provide enough power during the night to power all of this. Like, these electric furnaces, these chew up the power. Absolutely destroy it. Just destroy it completely. So let's put this solar panel down. Yeah, let's put it over here. So what we need to do is clear some space for it. As you can see, when we're trying to place it, it'll tell us what things are in the way. And you don't have to put it away in order to clear the things out. Right now, I'm in the way. But if I get myself out of the way, I can now put it down. I'm going to just pop it down, and it starts producing power. And it tells you when you hover over top of it on the right-hand side how much health it has and how much power it's producing, and the available performance. Now, the available performance is an important thing. So if we go over to here, as you can see, available performance, it has a full bar of available performance. Performance, though, is not there. When this is running, you'll see the performance sitting at, like, more so when you've just got the 1 going, when you're first starting out, you'll see performance at about half. That doesn't mean that it doesn't have enough power. It just means that it doesn't need to produce as much. So it'll only use what it needs. And as you can see right now, the performance is dead. It's not running because it doesn't need to, because these guys are providing enough power for everything. Now, this is kind of obscure, and it doesn't really tell you anything. Like, available performance is a bar. It doesn't say anything. Only the solar panels have an actual power output. If you like numbers, like I like numbers, you can get them really easily. A nice overview of your entire system by just selecting one of your poles. Just hover over top of it and right-clicking, and you get this lovely electrical network info. And it tells you what machines are using what, and what is producing. I'm producing well, now we're going down because it's starting to get dark. So I'm still not producing enough. My production is pretty low here. It doesn't actually need as much power as it's producing, which is nice. If the production was kind of yellow and the consumption was lower, that would mean that I have power problems. So as this reduces... No, it's going back up. That's weird. And now the steam engine has kicked in. Just kind of to compensate for the power loss, which is always nice. It has a kind of a power priority. The top priority, first one that'll draw from is solar panels, then it jumps down to steam engines. There are accumulators, which I have not got to in my tech tree yet. I'm not 100% sure where they are, but once I get to them, any excess power from the not from the batteries, I'm reading there, from the solar panels will be accumulated in the accumulator, which is essentially just a battery. And let's start these. This guy needs to produce sulfur. Oh, hold on. Can I produce sulfuric acid from just the one? Huh, I didn't know. Let's just do that one. All right. I'm going to assume not. So the way I've got this set up, this here is my pump jack. This is sitting on top of a oil well, which is actually starting to run dry. So I'm going to need to get a new one. There's more down below. So it's pumping out. I've got this underground pipe here, which is going underneath this little lake into my oil refinery, which is Russ Money. That's kind of funny. I never actually looked at the name of this. Anyway, what this is doing is this is pumping out it's taking in the crude oil, and it's pumping out the petroleum gas, light oil, and heavy oil. I'm not using the light or heavy oil for anything right yet. You do use those to produce other things. Once you get more advanced in the electronics, you would use those. But I am using the petroleum gas. So the petroleum gas, as you can see, is being pumped out here. It's being stored in the storage tanks, but it's also being pumped into these two chemical plants. This chemical plant is using the petroleum gas and coal to produce plastic, which I have a butt ton of. This chemical plant right now is producing sulfur, which apparently is not a liquid. Well, that's poop. I thought it was a liquid. Huh. Well then. Well, that changes all of that. Gonna have to rearrange all of this. So let's see what we can do with this while we're here. So that's gonna do that. So what these are, this is an electric inserter. This will pull out an item from one machine and put it into another machine. So let's pull these off. I'm gonna break that, and let's get this stuff off my bar. So this is just how you would do things. This is how you would build. And yeah, I've got to put it there, I think. Let's pop that. And there we go. That should put the sulfur in there. Yeah, so water, sulfur. And this is where my design falls to pieces, because I need this iron to go into here. So I need to rearrange this. And there we go. Pick up that. Now we've got to do... So this is pretty much what you need to do for a lot of this. It's a lot of movement, and you'll end up moving a lot of things around, especially if you suck like me. And I hope that this is good. And I feel it is not. Alright. You know, I can kind of combine these, I think. Come on. Break. There we go. Oh, I can't. Dang. Alright, well, let's do that. Damn. Alright. So, we've got to gotta logic things. There's a lot of logic involved in this. And if you're familiar with me, you'll be familiar with my complete and utter lack of such things. And And now I've got to break that again. And there. There we go. So now this will produce the sulfuric acid from iron, sulfur, and water. And then I just need to take this guy off. And all of this is shot to shit now. I guess not really. And you also have to take into account the in and out. So the arrows point in the direction of the in and output. The input and the output. Actually, no, that was where I wanted it. Yeah. I'm gonna just try to do it the way I had it. And do that. And this should, in fact, be liquid. Yeah. And there we go. So this should be... I've got sulfuric acid, I need battery. So what's going to happen here is this guy should... There we go. There we go. So what this is going to do is it's going to take the copper plates and the iron plates that are coming here. Got the copper coming from the right, the iron coming from the left, kind of getting combined into one. And this inserter will grab them and put them in to where they need to go. The pipe is going to take the sulfuric acid and put it in here, and the chemical plant is going to produce the battery. And this inserter is going to take the battery out and put it on here, which is going to go down this way with the plastics and sit here. And then from here, I think I need to do something different, but I'm not at that point yet. At least I don't think I am. Oh, no, I am. So yeah, now I need to configure this. So this guy is going to do that. And then... what do we got going on here? So I need to do something with this batteries. Because these batteries should not be coming down this way. Whatever, I'm not going to fiddle around with that right now. That's going to be pretty hefty. So right now it is nighttime. Now, unlike a lot of games like this, well, unlike Minecraft... Let's just throw it out like that. Unlike Minecraft, this game does not spawn monsters at night. So I am just as safe at night as I am during the day, except my visibility is reduced. And luckily, it looks like the sun is coming up. And you can zoom out really far, which is always nice. What you do have to worry about, though, is they do spawn. And over here, and this may get us killed. As you can see, I have a gun turret over here. Over this way, we have some bad guys. Some medium worms. Oh. There we go. Get dead. And what were those guys? Those were biters. They used to be called creepers. Ow! That flak jacket there, the heavy armor, doesn't protect you very well. It really doesn't. But yeah, these guys used to be called creepers. Now they're biters. You got small biters, you got medium biters, you got large biters. I'll let my gun turret take care of him. He looks bored. Ow. And then you've got your worms. You've got small worms, big worms. Well, you got small worms, medium worms, and, well, yeah, big worms. And then you've got these spawners. They're spitter spawners, which are actually what produce the bad guys. Taking those out can make things more difficult. The difficulty of the game actually increases based on a lot of different options. Hello. What do we got here? Yeah, let's do explosives. One of the options for increasing the difficulty is time. the longer you're in the world, the harder things are. And basically what that means is it just means that you're going to get a chance to get bigger and stronger creatures. I've been playing this for almost 9 hours now, so I have big worms and medium worms. But small biters still. This spitter. That's a spitter. Where are the biters? I guess this is a spitter spawner. It used to be I thought this was a biter spawner. Anyway, doesn't really matter. So they produce harder and stronger and larger creatures as you get farther and farther along. Another thing would be pollution. So each one of these things, well, not necessarily that, but everything produces a pollution. So an electric furnace is 0.9 pollution. This guy, your little electric mining drill, is 9. But, you know, as a side note, the pollution of the burner miner is 10, which is actually really high. I would suspect the electric miner would be a heck of a lot lower. So I'm not sure on that, whether that's just a typo in the interface or if that's actually right. And your burners here, your boilers, produce 6, which, again, that seems low considering the electric miner is 9. But certain things produce certain amounts of pollution, and you want to reduce the pollution. There's certain things that actually reduce the pollution, like trees, but trees don't reduce it enough to even waste your time with. As you can see, pretty much everything I have is electric. I'm not using any burner stuff, because if we take a look at our furnace, let's grab our furnace here. Does it tell me? It might not tell me. Let's see. What do we got? Pollution is 1.8. So that's a fair bit, well, it's double what the electric furnace is. And that's just your basic furnace. You've also got the steel furnace, which is the higher tier furnace. This would be the second tier. This would be, this produces faster. That's pretty much it. It produces things faster. But, as you can see, pollution is 3.6. That's double of the regular furnace. So that's pretty intense. So these electric furnaces are much lower pollution, which, in my mind, I don't know how accurate that is, that helps to slow down the increase in difficulty. Another thing, which is a huge thing, right early on, let's head back up this way here. It's really hard to see when you're this zoomed out. These spawners, if you break one of these spawners, it can drastically increase your difficulty level if you're lower. Apparently, there's like a whole chart on the wiki, or is it the wiki or website? I don't really know. Somewhere on the interwebs, there is basically a chart that talks about, you know, how your pollution works and how the levels and how to increase and what not to do. And it seems like the worst thing you can do early on in the game is take out one of those spawners. It really is. Oh, we got lots of batteries. Let's collect these batteries up, and then we can pop them in here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just pressing F. When you press F, that's your pickup key, and that'll pick up these items. I'm not picking up the plastic because I'm just out of reach of the plastic. Otherwise, I'd pick up the plastic too. So there we go. Put 73 batteries in there, and that's going to produce, well, presumably 73 of these science packs. The level 3 science packs, which this guy should pull out and deal with. That's pretty much it. But I do need a better solution for these batteries, because this is not where they should be going. But there are, later on, there are items that you can do for smart networking. I've not made it that far, so I don't know 100% how they work, but they're similar to this. This is a splitter. This is just a regular splitter. I have a fast splitter, and apparently there's a smart splitter. Like there's this smart inserter, there's a smart chest, there's a smart splitter, and I'm assuming that you can kind of program those to, like, say I have this where I've got my batteries going down here and I have the plastic coming down here. But once I get to here, I want to split the batteries off to a separate line that brings them here. Well, theoretically, I could do that via the smart splitter. Now, I haven't, like I said, I haven't gotten there in this or any other playthrough, so I'm not sure. Also, I should note that this is very inefficient. This is not ideal. Like, I only have one of these assembly machines producing the gears, and I've got three machines taking the gears out. And then I've got just all the things all over the place. It is not efficient. It's just really compact, to be honest. Like, these things could be huge and sprawling, and I was actually considering moving it all the way up here and using this line here as kind of my iron line and doing like 3 machines or 4 machines for the gears, and then like 2 machines. Well, I guess I only really need 1 machine for the conveyor belts. But it's very handy to have these the way I've got it set up, because, oh, I need conveyor belts. Well, I'll just take the conveyor belts. It's just that simple, because this doesn't produce fast enough. It doesn't produce these Science Kit 2s or Science Pack 2s fast enough to utilize all of the conveyor belts that this guy produces. So it's really quite great. There's a lot to this game. It is excruciatingly heavy in content, and it is still considered, I believe it's considered alpha still. I don't think they've upped it to beta yet, so it is still very early on in its development. Everything can change. It's just glorious. Also, as you can see, I totally missed this coal here and went way down here to this coal. But I have, everything is on electric. I try to keep everything electric. I've only used this burner. This is the one I got. I have not created another one. So I'm very, very much use the electric. Use the electric. So yeah, definitely worth it. They're not available on Steam yet. They have a Greenlight page, but it's a Greenlight, what are they calling it? Concept. It's a concept page. So you can check it out, but it's not votable. I believe they've actually scheduled a potential release date for it. I don't know entirely what it is, but I think that they have a tentative release, which is kind of cool. And that's when I believe they'll launch up the Kickstarter. Not the Kickstarter. I think they already had a Kickstarter. They will launch the official Greenlight campaign, and you can vote for it then. Right now, you can pick it up off their website. I believe it's about $20, although I didn't double check. But this is a great game. If you like this kind of thing where you're just building massive factories, trying to make the most efficient factories, just dumping things on, and it's not too survival heavy. Like these guys, at least on the hardness difficulty that I'm on, on the difficulty I'm on, they pretty much just stay where they are. They don't wander too far. Like if I get too close, they do have a view range, as you can see, and it's quite far. You can tell that they see you simply because they pop up, but they don't attack. So, hence the reason why I've got that. Oh my god! Have I been talking that long? Alright. Yes, accumulator. That's what we want. Let's get that accumulator going. So, problems that I've seen so far is, you've probably noticed it, every once in a while you get this, 2-3 second freeze. It's kind of annoying, but it's not a huge detrimental issue. I don't know what it is. I haven't really looked anything up on it, but that's kind of an issue. I hope that gets fixed. Otherwise, I really enjoy it. It's really entertaining, and you've probably seen, if you watch some of the bigger Minecraft players, they've started Let's Plays on Factorio, which is kind of funny to me because I did a video on this, like a year and a half ago. So, yeah. Anyway, great game. I might actually start an LP of it. Maybe. I don't really know. This is a game that I kind of like to I just sit down and for a couple hours I kind of just derp around. I spend a lot of time just standing here waiting for things to finish. So it's a really slow-paced game, at least for the way I play it. It's slow-paced. But anyway, I am going to end this here because at this point I'm just rambling on and not doing anything in particular. Not that I really did anything to begin with. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this. If you'd like to see an LP of it, definitely let me know. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, or add me to your Google Plus circles. I also have a Patreon campaign going on. Feel free to support me on there if you so desire. And if you want to see more, click that subscribe button.